Some prayers aren't unanswered, they are flatly denied because they contradict God's very nature. People often assume that any request made with enough faith will be granted immediately. Not every desire aligns with your purpose. Not every plea honors your growth. Not every petition respects God's ultimate plan for your life. Today, I am going to show you why these specific prayers remain blocked and how that rejection is actually the greatest mercy you could ever receive. As C.S. Lewis once wrote, God often says no to our prayers to keep us from hurting ourselves. It is a profound shift in perspective. You are about to see that a closed door is not a punishment, but a divine redirection toward your true potential. If this already feels like a weight off your shoulders, hit that like button right now. Number 1. Never pray for the removal of a struggle that is meant to build your character. We often beg for easy lives without realizing that ease rarely produces strength. As James 1:2-4 tells us, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness." That means your pain is a tool for refinement. Think about the story of Joseph. He spent years in a pit and then a prison, wrongly accused and forgotten. If God had answered his earliest prayers to simply return home, he never would have become the leader who saved his entire nation from famine. Joseph's struggle was the prerequisite for his authority. You might be asking for your trial to end, but God is asking you to let the trial finish its work in you. The next time you find yourself praying for relief, try praying for endurance instead. Short-term comfort is the enemy of long-term character. 2. Stop praying for the return of things or people God has already closed the door on. We often hold on to expired chapters because we fear the unknown empty space. But Isaiah 43:19 reminds us, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" God cannot move you forward if you are anchored to the past. Consider the Israelites in the wilderness. They constantly wept for the onions and garlic of Egypt, longing for their chains because the path to the promised land felt too difficult. They were asking for a return to slavery. You might be grieving a job, a relationship, or a season that was meant to sharpen you, not sustain you. When God shuts a door, He is protecting your future from your own nostalgia. Refusing to let go is the fastest way to stay stuck in a cycle of frustration. Holding on to the past is the surest way to miss your future. 3. Never pray for success that is built on compromising your integrity. We live in a world that shouts that the ends justify the means, but Proverbs 11:3 warns us, "The integrity of the upright guides them, but the unfaithful are destroyed by their duplicity." God will never bless a path that requires you to break your own soul. Remember the temptation of Jesus in the wilderness. Satan offered him all the kingdoms of the world in exchange for a single act of compromise. He turned it down. He knew that any victory gained through surrender to darkness is just a gilded cage. You might be praying for a promotion or a wind that comes with strings attached to your values. If you have to lie, cut corners, or step on others to get there, it is not a blessing from above. The cost of a shortcut is always your internal peace. True success is not measured by the height of your throne, but by the weight of your conscience. Wait until you hear the next one, because this is where many people lose their way in their spiritual journey. 4. Stop praying for things that are meant to feed your pride rather than your purpose. James 4:3 is clear. "When you ask, you do not receive, because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures." God is not a cosmic vending machine designed to fulfill your vanity. Look at King Saul. He started with great promise, but grew obsessed with his own fame and his own image. He turned his leadership into a monument for himself rather than a service to God. Eventually, God withdrew his favor because Saul was more concerned with the opinions of men than the heart of the Creator. You might be praying for status or influence to prove your worth to people who don't even matter. That prayer will always be denied because God refuses to feed the ego that is slowly killing your spirit. True significance is found in being seen by God, not by the world. You don't need the spotlight to have a massive impact. 5. Of all the points we've covered, this is the most important one. Never pray for God to change someone else's heart before you have allowed Him to change your own. We spend years begging for our spouses, bosses, or friends to be transformed, all while ignoring the pride or bitterness in our own hearts. As Matthew 7:7 says, "First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." Your prayer for change often becomes a tool for control rather than a plea for transformation. Think about the prophet Jonah. He prayed for God to judge Nineveh and change its people, but he was completely unwilling to let God change his own heart toward his enemies. He was right about the message, but wrong in his spirit. You are responsible for your own reflection in the mirror. You cannot command a miracle in someone else if you are harboring a hardened heart yourself. Humility is the prerequisite for any lasting change in your sphere of influence. A prayer for others is useless if it is masking your own refusal to grow. Knowing how to ask is important, but knowing how to submit to the no is what separates ordinary faith from extraordinary impact. It is a refinement process that strips away the superficial and leaves you standing in your purpose. Not everything that shines is a blessing. Not everything that stays is a friend. Not everything that is easy is the right way forward. If you understand this today, your inner peace will be unshakable, your motives will be crystal clear, and your path will finally align with your destiny. If this message spoke to your heart, share this video with someone who needs this perspective today. Subscribe to Grace in Motion so you never miss another video designed to help you align your life with God's purpose. Type in the comments, "I trust the process," as your commitment to letting God lead your life, even when the answer is no.